If you're new here, we are Whispers Between Pages. On this channel, we break down and summarize powerful books, from emotional love stories to gripping thrillers. If you love stories and want to discover your next favorite read, you're in the right place. Don't forget to subscribe and like the video to support the channel. Let's continue now. Okay, let's unpack this. Imagine a world where your college major could quite literally kill you.
Yeah,
Where every single exam is a fight for survival and graduation. That's not just about getting a degree, it's about making it out alive from a war you didn't even know you were fighting.
it's intense.
Welcome to a reality where the line between brutal training and actual combat is so thin, it's like almost invisible. It sets this terrifying backdrop for a deeply personal story.
It's a world where the very structures, the things designed for protection, for education, they can also be tools for control,
Yeah.
for suppressing truth.
Yeah, controlling the narrative.
Exactly.
Mm.
And for manufacturing a specific kind of strength. What's truly fascinating here, I think, is observing how crucial information can be intentionally hidden or maybe just subtly revealed, even in a society governed by ancient treaties and, guarded by these incredibly powerful dragons. The book really challenges our assumptions about what true power actually looks like.
And that challenge, it starts right from the beginning. Today we're taking a deep dive into some truly thrilling material from Iron Flame, the Empyrean 2.
Fantastic book.
It plunges us right into this dark fantasy world, dragon riders, brutal military colleges, and a sweeping, desperate conflict. And the author gives us this vital clue to the theme right in the dedication. It says, "To my fellow zebras, not all strength is physical."
Zebras. I love that.
Right. Now, why zebras? And how does this idea of non-physical strength even apply in a world where, dragon riders seem to live and die by brute force? Keep that dedication in mind as we explore the relentless crucible of Basgiath War College and Violet's journey,
Definitely.
because it's a profound key, I think, to understanding how she and others managed to defy the odds in really unexpected ways.
Absolutely. And our mission today really is to extract the most important nuggets of knowledge and insight from this incredibly rich source material. We want you to gain a thorough understanding of the core mechanics of this world. From its unique magic system to its intricate political landscape, hopefully helping you connect the dots and achieve those aha moments about how seemingly disparate elements fit into the bigger picture.
Yeah. See how it all weaves together.
Exactly. We'll explore the hidden conflicts, the complex character motivations, and the surprising revelations that redefine heroism and sacrifice. Hopefully offering you far more value than just a quick summary.
Right. So buckle up, because we're jumping headfirst into a world that is truly forged in fire and deception.
A world forged in fire and deception.
So to really appreciate the world of Iron Flame, we absolutely have to begin where its characters are forged and often broken, which is the relentless crucible that is Basgiath War College. When you examine the fundamental structure of this world, particularly its military and academic institutions, you immediately notice this profound emphasis on extreme training, almost like to the point of deliberate attrition.
Sounds like a college and more like, well, a very elaborate, terrifying gauntlet. Designed solely for natural selection, maybe?
That's a good way to put it.
We're not talking about your average university hazing here, are we? The sources vividly describe Basgiath as a brutal and competitive world. Specifically, a military college for dragon riders.
Right.
But it quickly becomes clear this isn't just tough. It's widely referred to as a death factory.
Ugh.
I mean, the cadets casually talk about their mortality,
Yeah, the humor is dark.
saying things like, surviving 3 years of this place should come with a lifetime supply of ale and a party so good you can't remember it. That kind of gallows humor. It really sets the tone, doesn't it?
It certainly does.
It tells you everything you need to know about the daily threat they live under.
And what's particularly chilling, I think, is how that atmosphere of impending death becomes so normalized that cadets actually joke about it.
Yeah.
The philosophy behind such a deadly training regimen is worth dissecting, really. Is it truly preparing cadets for the external threats they'll face, making them elite warriors?
Or is it something else?
Or is it a system designed to simply weed out the unlucky or maybe the weaker through sheer elimination? The constant threat of death, even during routine exercises, it implies a form of brutal efficiency, a kind of Darwinian process maybe.
But at what cost?
But at what profound human cost?
Right.
Think about the perilous trials they endure, the parapet, a literal narrow bridge thousands of feet in the air,
Terrifying.
where countless candidates lose their life to, it feels a little like dying too, just walking across it to get to their classes.
Just walking.
Then there's the Gauntlet, this brutal aerial obstacle course known to cost lives as it tragically did for cadets like Tristan. Even the threshing, the sacred dragon bonding ritual, is explicitly life or death. A dragon either cheeses you or your life is forfeit, sometimes violently.
It's not optional.
This isn't just about skill, it's about sheer brutal survival of the fittest. A system that really seems to prioritize output over individual lives.
It paints this picture where every single day could genuinely be your last. And that atmosphere, that intense pressure, it immediately sets the stage for any external threats to be even more terrifying.
Absolutely.
Because if this is what they do to themselves, what horrors are waiting for them beyond the wards? And speaking of terror, this internal brutality, it echoes a much deeper historical terror that has shaped this continent for centuries. The scars left by the burning of Erisha.
Exactly. That event isn't merely a historical footnote. It's a foundational trauma. It profoundly impacts the continent's present and its future. Erisha, we learn, was a fortress burned by dragon in accordance with the treaty ending the separatist movement, way back in the 628th year of unification.
Burned by treaty.
What's crucial here is the sheer brutality of this treaty. It wasn't just a peace accord designed to restore order, it dictated utter devastation.
Wow.
The power dynamics are chilling, such a devastating condition being imposed on the subsequent purchaser, meaning whoever bought the land later still had to abide by its destruction.
So the land itself is cursed, almost.
In a way, yeah. This act highlights Navarre's ruthless past victories and, more importantly, the long-lasting resentment and deep-seated animosity it fosters among those who remember, particularly the children of the traitors, the marked ones.
Right, they bear the brunt.
They bear the brunt of Navarre's judgment, living constantly under that shadow.
And the official notice, that Public Notice 628.85, transcribed by Sorella Neilward, adds such a visceral, chilling detail. It says, "Those who fled survived, and those who did not remain entombed in her ruins."
Chilling.
It's not just history written in dusty books. It's a living, breathing testament to the kingdom's capacity for annihilation, a stark warning. This historical context is absolutely crucial for understanding the current political climate and the underlying motivations of what's known as the Second Rebellion.
It really is.
It explains why people are willing to risk everything against such a powerful regime.
Precisely. And this leads us straight to the truly shocking truth about the unseen enemy. For centuries, Basriath and Navarre have presented Griffons as the primary external threat.
The known enemy.
The known enemy. We see Griffin attacks on the border being officially tracked and reported on maps. A constant, maybe manageable danger that the Dragon Riders are trained to combat.
Right. Fight the Griffins, protect the borders.
However, the source material reveals a far more insidious and, frankly, existential enemy. The Venin. And their terrifying mounts. The Wyvern.
Which are not dragons.
Definitely not dragons. And here's the truly disturbing part. Navarre's official maps and reports deliberately conceal this truth. They actively propagate a lie.
This is where the deception really kicks in, isn't it? It's a profound betrayal of their own people, their own military.
Massive.
Why would a kingdom hide an existential threat of this magnitude from its very defenders? Is it about maintaining an iron grip of control over information?
Maybe.
Is it pure fear of widespread panic? Or is it, I don't know, a misguided attempt to maintain morale by presenting a less terrifying, albeit still dangerous, enemy?
It's hard to know the exact motive, but whatever it is.
That's
This act of selective truth leads to a massive catastrophic intelligence gap among the cadets. They're being trained to fight, skirmishes with Griffins.
While the real apocalypse is brewing.
Exactly. While an apocalyptic war is brewing on their doorstep against an enemy they don't even know exists. It's almost unthinkable. It is unthinkable, and the implications are profound. You see the Bastiath map, updated daily with Griffin attacks, which contrasts so sharply, so tragically, with the Erishan map, the map of the suppressed rebellion that reflects the truths Navarre is hiding.
Wow. Two different realities.
Two different realities. Brennan, Violet's thought-to-be-dead brother, now a leader of this rebellion, he observes the terrifying truth. I think they're headed straight up the Stonewater River, and we have 6 months or less until they're strong enough to come for Navarre. Not that the Assembly will listen.
6 months, and the leadership won't listen.
Which highlights Navarre's institutional blindness and, frankly, arrogance. And the Venin themselves, they're horrifying, far more terrifying than Griffins. They're marked by these reddish rings to their eyes that indicate how often they drain life force.
Oh, creepy detail.
And they have uncaptured mavens, their generals, indicating a sophisticated, organized, and truly evil force. This growing hidden threat is the driving force behind the Second Rebellion and the desperate, sometimes morally ambiguous, measures taken by its members.
Yeah.
It's a war fought not just on battlefields with dragons, but in the very realm of information itself, where truth is the first casualty.
The web of secrets and shifting loyalties.
Okay, so it's clear that the stakes are higher than anyone at Bezhiev could possibly have imagined. And speaking of the Second Rebellion, let's dive into that web of secrets and shifting loyalties.
Yes.
Because it's not about what's happening on the battlefront, it's what's happening behind the scenes, within families, between friends. And the deepest secret, perhaps the biggest shock for Violet, is the revelation of Brennan's return.
Indeed. Brennan, Violet's older brother, believed dead for 6 long years after the first Separatist rebellion, a profound loss that shaped Violet's entire life and, her mother's harshness towards her.
Right, that loss explains so much.
But then, in this truly pivotal moment, he is revealed to be alive, not just surviving, but actually leading a clandestine operation.
Wow.
And not only that, he's a powerful mender, a rare and invaluable magical ability that allows him to literally repair broken things, including, crucially, the human body.
A mender. That's huge. And the emotional fallout from his fake death, it's portrayed so intensely. There's the immense, almost disorienting relief of reunion.
Overwhelming.
You can feel Violet's shock and relief as she thinks it's going to take some time to get used to seeing Brennan alive. It's like an impossible joy.
Yeah.
But it's immediately tangled with this deep-seated anger and profound betrayal. Violet herself can't help but say, "You just left Mira and me to live it," and she notes it comes out a little angrier than I intend, or maybe I'm angrier than I realize.
Understandably so.
And then there's Mira, their other sister. Her reaction upon seeing him, it's visceral, unforgettable. She draws back her fist and punches him straight in the face.
Bam. Yeah, that moment highlights the sheer depth of her pain.
Yeah.
And his unimaginable sacrifice, too.
Absolutely. He even offers his mending as a 21st birthday present for Violet, which shows this kind of strained normalcy amidst this profound family trauma.
Right.
This immediate family reunion with all its raw emotion, it directly draws Violet into a far larger and more dangerous game than she could have ever imagined. It forces her to choose sides, really.
Absolutely. And Brennan's rationale for his disappearance and actions, it's critical to understanding the rebellion strategy, and it's a crucial lesson in adaptation, I think.
How so?
He explains, "We learned from Fenn's mistakes,
Mm.
Fenn being the leader of the First Rebellion. We're not attacking Navarre like he did or declaring independence. We're fighting right under their noses, and we have a plan."
Ah, so it's subterfuge.
Exactly. This isn't a frontal assault. It's a quiet, insidious war fought from the shadows, leveraging intelligence and ancient secrets. His survival and his new role immediately pull Violet into this complex world of espionage and desperate measures.
It's not just personal for her, though. There's a grand, continent-spanning mission at the heart of this hidden rebellion, one that redefines their purpose from, simple separatism to something much bigger.
Precisely. The core of the revolution's plan is this urgent race against time. They need to find an ancient weapon that famously stopped the Venin 600 years ago.
The ultimate MacGuffin.
Pretty much. But their immediate pragmatic goals are twofold. First, secure a luminary, which is an ancient power source, to power a forge for alloy-hilted daggers, described chillingly as a Venin killer.
Okay, they need special weapons.
Special weapons, yeah. Second, they need to make their own wards operational to protect civilians from the encroaching Venin threat, especially since Navarre has clearly dropped the ball.
Right, Navarre isn't protecting them.
So this isn't just a political rebellion for independence anymore. It's a desperate fight for survival against a rapidly expanding existential threat that Navarre refuses to even acknowledge.
And it's incredibly high stakes, isn't it? Brennan spells it out with chilling clarity. Forging the daggers will keep us in the fight long enough to find it, as long as we can get that luminary.
They need that power source.
The vital importance of Warwick's journal in deciphering how to raise wards underscores this critical blend of ancient, often suppressed, knowledge and urgent present-day need.
Yeah, old secrets, new applications.
The entire operation is necessarily shrouded in immense secrecy, fighting right under their noses, which highlights the immense risk involved if they are discovered by Navarre.
One wrong move.
Exactly. This grand mission completely intertwines with Violet's personal journey, forcing her to confront uncomfortable truths, make dangerous alliances, and take risks that could cost her absolutely everything.
And moving from that grand scale of rebellion to the deeply personal, we see how Violet navigates this minefield of relationships and trust, especially concerning her lifelong best friend, Dane Ados.
Oh, Dane.
This relationship, once a bedrock of her life, becomes one of the most painful betrayals.
This is a really tough one for Violet, and for you, the listener, it forces you to question what trust really means, I think. Dane, Violet's lifelong best friend.
Practically family.
Yeah. He has this unique signet that allows him to read recent memories through physical touch. And this power, which could be a gift, for healers,
It becomes a weapon.
it becomes a tool of profound invasion and betrayal. He shares Violet's most sensitive, hidden information with his father, Colonel Ados.
Who is high up in Navarre's command.
Right. It's a violation of privacy and trust that Violet feels to her core. It's not just information shared, it's a piece of herself stolen.
The ethical implications of Dane's signet are central to his character arc, and to a broader theme of integrity, maybe. Is it an invasion? How does it erode trust?
Absolutely, it's an invasion.
Particularly when his actions, while maybe stemming from a misguided loyalty to his father and Navarre's rigid system, directly harm someone he clearly cares deeply for.
He says he cares, but...
His personal affection for Violet is there, but it's overridden by what he perceives as his duty. Violet's raw emotional response, born of this profound violation, is perfectly understandable. She says, "I'll be ready to talk when the sight of you doesn't make me want to bury my knife in your chest all the way to the fucking hilt."
Ouch. That really encapsulates the depth of her fury, doesn't it?
It does.
And the crucial scene where Dane finally admits, "I told my father what I saw when I touched you." And Violet, without hesitation, corrects him. "When you stole my memory."
That distinction is key.
It's so powerful because it draws that clear line.
Yeah.
It wasn't a consensual sharing of information, it was an act of taking. Yet in a climactic moment, even after all this, Dane still chooses to save her,
Which shows he's complex.
highlighting that he's a much more complex character than just a simple villain. He's caught between his personal feelings and his ingrained loyalty to a flawed system. This personal betrayal deepens Violet's understanding of the kingdom's widespread deception and forces her to question who she can truly rely on.
Narrows her circle.
It narrows her circle of trust to a very, very select few.
And in stark contrast, or perhaps as a complex parallel, is the turbulent heart of Violet and Azaden's bond.
Ah, Zayda.
Their relationship is a central, intricate dynamic,
Yeah.
characterized by intense attraction, profound mistrust, and the constant burden of shared, dangerous secrets.
So many secrets.
Azaden, a formidable shadow wielder and the reluctant leader of the Marked Ones, remember, the children of traitors, forced into military service, he's revealed to have taken responsibility for Violet early on through a binding ritual.
A binding ritual.
Yes. He says, he's responsible for me, responsible for my choices, my loyalties, not to Navarre, like the Marked Ones, but to Eurasia. This isn't just a casual promise, it's a magical vow.
Yeah.
It ties their destinies together in the most profound way.
Their relationship is this constant push and pull, right? A dance on the edge of a knife, often fueled by the high-stakes life-or-death environment they inhabit.
Always life or death.
Zaxxon's deeply ingrained tendency to keep secrets, even when he believes it's for Violet's protection, it constantly breeds mistrust, despite his undeniable deep feelings for her.
It's his fatal flaw, maybe.
You really feel Violet's internal struggle as she asks herself, how can I want someone who refuses to tell me his whole truth?
It's torture for her.
Yet in a moment of raw vulnerability, she confesses, I love you so fucking much that I ignored every warning signal last year, and now half the time I don't know what side of that line I'm standing on because I'm too busy looking at you to watch my own feet.
Wow. That's raw.
It's that raw, overwhelming emotion that makes their bond so compelling and relatable, even in this fantastical setting.
And Azaden's own admission, despite his usually stoic demeanor, highlights the depth of his feelings and the torment of his secrecy. He says, when I do sleep, I dream of the sounds you make. I wake up starving for you. Only you. even on the mornings you're halfway across the kingdom.
Intense.
This protective, almost possessive bond between them isn't just romantic. It's a critical strategic alliance in the burgeoning war. Their dragons, Tern and Sgoil, are also mated, which further solidifies this unbreakable connection.
Right, the dragon bond, too.
It impacts every decision and escalates the personal stakes. Their very lives and the fate of the rebellion depend on this volatile, yet somehow unbreakable bond.
Absolutely. And this leads us directly to the hidden cost of knowledge and control, which Violet, with her background as a scribe in training, is uniquely positioned to uncover.
Yeah, her original path.
She's often underestimated because of her physical fragility, right? A classic zebra in a world of lions, like the dedication says. But her mind is her sharpest weapon.
That's right. The Basgiath archives, supposedly this bastion of knowledge, ironically become a battlefield of information.
Battlefield of books.
Pretty much. Violet, leveraging her intellect and her previous training as a scribe, actively uses her skills to access Basgiath's meticulously guarded archives. With the crucial help of Jesinia, a friendly, though initially quite timid, scribe.
Jesinia is great.
She seeks out classified books on wards and, crucially, on the Venin. This quest leads to the shocking discovery that the archives are incomplete, and that critical texts are not merely misfiled, but deliberately missing or suppressed.
Deliberately suppressed. That's horrifying. This is a profound paradox. The very institution dedicated to preserving knowledge actively hides it, actively controls the narrative to their own detriment, it seems.
It seems that way.
It's inherently dangerous to seek forbidden knowledge in this world, and Violet is acutely aware of the risks. She knows the consequences could be severe, but her personal stakes drive her forward. She thinks, fuck not getting involved. I'm sure as hell not going to sit around and do nothing while my brother and Xaden risk their lives.
That determination.
The sheer urgency of her mission overrides any fear. The dramatic arrest of a second-year student for simply requesting a specific deemed forbidden book. That underscores the dire, chilling consequences of such intellectual curiosity within Basgiath's walls.
Makes an example of him.
It shows how deeply rooted this control is.
Jesienia's fearful reaction and immediate warning are a powerful testament to the widespread censorship and the palpable danger of even questioning the official narrative. She whispers, I think that's my fault. That writer requested a book yesterday and I recorded the request, confirming that the system is designed to track and punish intellectual curiosity.
Wow, even recording the request is dangerous.
Yet Violet, despite the immense danger, holds on to her unwavering belief. The answer to protecting Eratia is in the archives. It has to be.
She needs that knowledge.
The revelation that no one can just walk into the archives and read whatever they want, you have to put in a request that any scribe can deny, highlights the deliberate and insidious control over information.
Gatekeeping knowledge.
Effectively making knowledge a weapon for those in power. This segment unequivocally reveals that the war is not just fought with dragons and daggers, but with information, with truth itself, making Violet's unique analytical skills and determination invaluable to the revolution, a true demonstration of non-physical strength.
The power of the zebra.
The solstice, sacrifice, and new realities.
So as this intricate web of secrets unravels, as the true enemy becomes horrifyingly clear, it all leads to an inevitable climax. We move now to part 3, the solstice, sacrifice, and new realities.
Okay.
This is where everything comes to a head, where all the hidden truths collide with the desperate reality of war.
Indeed. The looming cataclysm of the solstice and the approaching Wyvern horde forces everyone, from the highest-ranking generals to the newest cadets, to confront the absolute truth. General Melgren, Navarre's top military leader.
The one with the battle-predicting signet?
That's him. He finally reveals the terrifying truth during a tense, desperate confrontation. They come for us on solstice and they win.
Wow. Just states it, they lose.
This isn't a prediction. It's a statement of devastating fact, indicating an imminent, overwhelming attack by the Venin's Wyvern army, a force far larger and more dangerous than Navarre has ever acknowledged publicly.
And the implications of Melgren's prophecy are truly horrifying, especially his inability to act on it earlier due to what? A combination of institutional denial and sheer, unadulterated pride.
Seems likely. The revelation that Navarre's forces were strategically spread out to combat the Griffin threat highlights how their own strategic errors.
Fighting the wrong war.
Exactly. And centuries of secrecy about the Venin have left them incredibly, catastrophically vulnerable. Melgren's chilling words really drive home the catastrophic stakes. If Samara falls, if any of the outposts do, Wyvern would have unfettered access to parts of Navarre the ward extensions have protected for the last 600 years.
Unfettered access. That's game over.
And the sheer scale of the attacking force is mind-boggling. Violet observes, "We've grossly underestimated their numbers, and knowing there's another wave following this, my throat tightens."
Just wave after wave.
This impending, overwhelming attack forces all factions, even former enemies, to confront the true scale of the existential threat, leading to desperate measures and a forced, uncomfortable unification.
Which brings us to the desperate gambit of the fight for the Wardstone, the massive ancient Wardstone at the heart of Basgiath. It's not just a defensive structure, is it?
No, it's the very core of its protection, extending wards that shield the entire city. During the devastating Solstice attack, this vital defense is severely damaged, threatening to plunge the city into chaos.
Everything depends on it.
This is the moment where Brennan, Violet's brother, believed dead for so long, steps forward, leveraging his powerful mending signet to undertake the monumental, seemingly impossible task of repairing the fracturing Wardstone.
He has to literally mend stone.
And then Violet, with her lightning signet, takes on an equally impossible task, re-imbuing it with enough power to raise the wards again. This entire desperate effort is directly linked to that cryptic Iron Rain passage from Warwick's journal,
The one they couldn't quite figure out.
the one they have been desperately trying to decipher.
And the physical and magical toll this undertaking takes on both Brennan and Violet, it's immense. They're pushed beyond any normal human limit.
Absolutely draining them.
But here's where an old secret unlocks new power. The critical discovery, thanks to Violet's intellect and the journal, is that Warwick's original translation was flawed. The passage didn't mean literal rain from the sky. It meant rain isn't rain, it's flame.
Flame, like lightning.
Exactly. This correction, a single word, is absolutely vital for successfully raising the wards because it meant the power source had to be lightning, a force that Violet uniquely commands.
Only she could do it.
The process requires immense focused power, pushing Violet to her very limits, almost to the point of self-destruction. She thinks, nothing matters beyond imbuing the stone, raising the wards that will save my friends, my siblings, Xaden.
Total focus, total sacrifice.
The description of her hands tingling painfully and her skin sizzling as she channels her power, pushing beyond what's thought possible, with her dragon Undarna warning, "You're burning out!" It truly shows the incredible sacrifice and the sheer force of will involved.
It's an incredible moment. This act of collective sacrifice and the precise application of ancient knowledge directly determine the survival of Basgiath and, by extension, the protection of Navarre's civilians.
But these high-stakes moments, these desperate battles for survival, they also bring about shocking revelations that drastically shift power dynamics and redefine characters. Perhaps none more so than the horrifying transformation of Jack Barlow.
Yes, this is a truly terrifying twist, because it shows the enemy isn't just outside the walls, it's been lurking within.
Inside Basgiath itself.
Jack Barlow, a cadet previously presented as an antagonist to Violet, a seemingly petty bully, right?
Yeah, it just seemed like a jerk.
He is revealed to have turned Venan. In a horrifying scene, he actively attempts to drain Dane Ados,
Dane.
demonstrating not only that Venan can exist and act within the supposedly protected wards, but also that their power is contagious, transforming those they drain.
Contagious. Oh, that's bad.
It raises so many chilling questions about how one becomes Venan and the insidious allure of such dark power. His chilling statement, "Welcome to our fucked up family. Guess we're brothers now," delivered with a twisted smile.
Yeah.
It really seals the deal on the absolute horror of his transformation and the true nature of the Venan spread.
The visual of stone after stone loses its color as Jack drains Dane. It visibly demonstrates the devastating effect of Venan power, turning living energy into inert stone.
Horrifying. This revelation about Venan infiltration and contagion sets the stage perfectly for Vaden's most shocking secret,
Okay, the big one.
and arguably the biggest aha moment of this deep dive.
Yeah.
It completely recontextualizes everything we thought we knew about him.
Which is Xaden's second signet, a terrifying hidden power.
Exactly. In the desperate chaos of the battle, Xaden is forced to reveal a previously unknown second signet, an ability directly connected to the Venan themselves.
Connected to the Venan.
Yes. He uses this terrifying power to neutralize Jack Barlow, solidifying his incredibly complex and dangerous nature. And what's fascinating is that this power is subtly hinted at during Violet's intense emotional states earlier in the book, like a shadow of what's to come.
So the clues were there.
The clues were there. This redefines Xaden's character entirely, blurring the lines between hero and monster.
Yeah, where does this put him?
It begs immediate, crucial questions. Does possessing this power make him capable of becoming Venin? Is it a counterpower, a defensive measure against them, or is it a power that draws from the same dark source, making him vulnerable to its corruption?
That's terrifying.
The immense burden of possessing such a terrifying ability, and why he kept it secret even from Violet. He admits to her, "I would rather die than become one of you," speaks volumes about the constant internal struggle he faces.
He hates it.
The shocking moment Violet challenges him, "What's your second signet?"
Yeah.
And his immediate reaction, his eyes widen and the blood drains from his face, is just incredible. It signals the weight of this revelation.
The secret is out.
This secret reshapes our entire understanding of Zedon's past actions and foreshadows a new, more dangerous future for him and for the fight against the Venin. It's a twist that profoundly deepens his character and raises the stakes exponentially.
So, with all these earth-shattering revelations, with the battle raging and heroes pushed to their absolute limits, we finally arrive at the aftermath. A new beginning forged in immense sacrifice.
Basquiat is saved, a victory hard won. But the battle's immediate aftermath brings accountability. Navarre's long-standing leadership, including General Melgren and Colonel Panchek, is publicly exposed for their decades-long deception about the Venin threat.
Finally facing the music.
This crisis forces a brutal reckoning, proving the immense power of truth to dismantle corrupt systems, even those deeply entrenched. Brennan, now a pivotal figure, announces a new form of governance. We rule by committee,
A committee. Interesting.
signifying a profound shift towards a more unified, transparent command structure, one that explicitly incorporates the revolution's ideals. This new approach recognizes the necessity of broad cooperation to face an existential threat.
Makes sense.
New alliances are immediately formed, including the crucial integration of former adversaries like the Flyers.
It truly is the collapse of an established deceptive order. You hear the raw emotion as Brennan publicly confronts his mother, General Sorrengail, and Melgren, declaring, "You will not escape the suffering you forced the rest of the continent to endure."
Powerful moment.
It's a powerful moment of consequence. And we see the immediate pragmatic integration of former adversaries, like the Flyer Cadets, into the new command structure, signaling a forced but necessary collaboration.
Have to work together now.
This new political reality sets the stage for a new phase of the war where collaboration, honesty, and shared purpose replace suppression and secrecy. It's a massive, hopeful, yet fragile shift.
Yet this victory, while significant, comes at a high personal cost. And lingering, profound challenges remain, reminding us that even the greatest triumphs are rarely without their burdens.
Always a cost.
Violet's formidable mother, General Sorrengail, dies in the battle. A complex character whose true motivations are only fully revealed in her final, heartbreaking moments.
Yeah, that was a shocker.
We learn the profound weight of her cruelty. She says, "I'd already lost one child keeping our borders safe, and I wasn't willing to lose another. Why did you think I forced you into the Rider Squad?"
Wow, so it was protection.
Her forced training of Violet, her pushing her to the brink, was a twisted, desperate form of protection, revealing a difficult and deeply painful love that resonates throughout Violet's journey.
That changes everything about her.
It does. And then there's Andarna, Violet's unique second dragon. She fully awakens from her mysterious, dreamless sleep with a bittersweet revelation. She has a physical limitation preventing her from bearing a rider.
Oh, no.
Her wings may allow her to fly, but she'll never bear a rider. This isn't just a physical limitation for Andarna. It adds another profound layer of challenge and nuance to the magic system and to Violet's own identity as a rider.
How does that even work?
It forces them both to redefine their bond and their understanding of power. And even with Basquiat saved, the fight is far from over. Warwick's journal, that ancient source of vital information, still holds secrets, now frustratingly in the untranslatable Moranian language.
Another roadblock.
Brennan, ever the pragmatist, warns, "No pressure, but if you don't figure out what Warwick lied about, we're all fucked."
No pressure at all.
And the Luminary, that ancient power source, so critical to their mission to forge Venin-killing daggers, remains frustratingly out of reach with the Techerus.
Still more to do.
This ending brilliantly reinforces that complex struggles rarely have clean, tidy resolutions. New knowledge often brings new burdens and new mysteries. The lingering challenges set up future conflicts and immense character growth,
Right.
emphasizing that even in victory, the path forward is rarely simple, often fraught with more questions than answers. It's a testament to the idea that true strength is not about the absence of problems, but the ability to continually adapt and face them head-on. Outro. So if we connect this to the bigger picture, this deep dive into Iron Flame shows us, quite powerfully I think, that true strength isn't solely about physical might or raw magical power. It's also, and perhaps more importantly, about the courage to seek and confront truth, even when it's uncomfortable, devastating, or goes against everything you've been taught.
Yeah, that takes real guts.
It's about building trust from the ashes of betrayal and finding resilience when everything seems lost, even when your own body feels like it's failing you, like our zebra hero, Violet.
And here's where it gets really interesting for you, our listener. The profound value of secrets, the crushing cost of holding them, and the explosive impact of their revelation for individuals, for families, for entire kingdoms.
Huge impact.
We've seen how information can be both a weapon and a shield, and how withholding it can lead to catastrophe. Just think about it. Zagadin's terrifying second signet that blurs the line between hero and villain.
Still processing that one.
The true hidden reason behind Violet's mother's apparent cruelty, revealed as this desperate act of love, and the shocking reality that Bastiath itself, this supposedly impenetrable fortress of knowledge, was built on a foundation of suppressed truths and deliberate deception.
Built on lies.
Yeah.
This raises an important question for you, our listener. In a world saturated with information and competing narratives, much like Navarre's, how do you discern between engineered truths and essential realities?
Good question.
Are you asking the right questions, pushing past the comfortable narratives you're given? Or are you maybe too content within your own intellectual wards, protected by the selective truths that might ultimately leave you unprepared for the real battles ahead?
So what does this all mean for you? Perhaps it's a powerful reminder that sometimes the greatest battles are fought not on a grand battlefield with dragons soaring overhead, but within the confines of established beliefs, hidden information, and the courageous choice to seek out the truth, no matter how uncomfortable it might be. Stay curious, stay critical, and keep seeking the deeper story. And that's it. We've reached the end of today's podcast on this book. If you enjoyed it, leave a like and subscribe so you don't miss the next whisper between the pages. Let us know in the comments what you thought of this episode and share your opinion if you've read the book. And of course, feel free to suggest a book you'd like us to cover next. See you soon.